Hey guys, so in today's video we're going to be going through the 79 series that we've got here. We've just done a full fleet spec fit out on it. We're going to go through what we've done specifically on this vehicle, as well as just some general rules about what we do when we're doing fleet builds, so what might be helping your own fleet if you're looking at getting something fitted out. So let's jump in the back. Alright, so this is a full canopy fit out, and we've also done the rest of the vehicle as well for the 79 series single cab. These guys in particular, they deal with the natural gas pipeline all the way from Dampier down to Bunbury. So there's a lot of driving they have to do, a lot of it's off-road, so they have to be able to sort of live or have a bit of an off-grid office while they're away. So this is a power system and sort of fit out is designed around that. We might be going a bit off-road, a bit off-grid, just to be able to pump up and down the tyres, have a bit of stuff to do some office work in here. So it's really designed around that sort of fit out sort of case in this one. Now we've got a big board up along here. This is where everything's mounted up to, so we make these all in-house and we mount everything to them. There's a lot of little quality of life things that not everyone would get in probably a normal four-wheel drive or overlanding setup. One thing that always I love with these is the speakers. They hook up to the head unit inside the cabin, so if someone wants to listen to radio or music or just catch up while they're out here working in this sort of office space area, they can easily do that. Got plenty of sound to come through, works really well. And so just below that, we've got the ARB twin compressor. We used to do these actually in the toolboxes down the side down here, but we sort of designed it to be a bit more of an easier use case. These guys actually use the air for some other activities or blowing out the stuff, and it's a bit annoying to sometimes have that box a bit full. Also helps bring that little bit of weight further forward and just sort of centralise it all. So it works really well there. That's connected to an ARB 4-litre air tank. That just stores the air, works really well. It's not really to help you with pumping up the tyres, it's more for the fact of blowing out stuff. So you add the normal air chuck and you just want to blow out this sort of area. Or if you've got an air tool, for example, like a rattle gun, an air rattle gun, you can use a good oomph to sort of get that high torque to begin with to really bust off some wheel nuts or something like that. So that's what it's really there for. It does kind of help with tyres, but really it's only maybe a second per tyre it's helping. It's not a big thing. It's mainly for that sort of blowing out and that air tool side of stuff. That all goes through to one of these TJM hose reels. These are a really nice little bit of kit, work really well. They're nice and self-retracting. We've just chucked the ARB coupling on the end of this because they want to keep it all the same with all the ARB stuff. So you can plug this onto the tyre, plug their normal air gun off of it, all works really well through there. And then when you're done with it, you can just chuck it back in and it's all gone away. So it works really well that way. You don't have to worry about getting the hose out and messing around with tying it back up. Just retract it back in, make it nice and easy. Now, in terms of the actual power system in here, this is a really nice one. A bit, as I said, has to be an office off-grid, so it has to be able to sort of keep them working real well. Up the top up here, we've got a 2000 watt Redarc inverter. That's connecting to just a power board here, so they can plug all their laptops, any sort of surveying equipment or scanning machines, anything they need to use can just be plugged into here and then sort of use as office space here for that too. And then in terms of the power board here, we've obviously got the EGN DC Hub. These are really good for sort of fleet builds to sort of standardise stuff. So one thing we really like doing with fleet builds is keeping all the vehicles the same. So for example, with these, we've done about 4 of these single cabs recently. Every single one of them gets a harness pre-made up and they all have the same colours, same lengths of everything. So one, it makes us easier for chucking it in, but also really makes it easier for fault finding. So if you call up with us and say you got vehicle number 1 or vehicle number 20, they're all going to have the same colours, doing the same stuff, going to the same location. So it really makes it sort of standardising really easy and makes it easier for us as well as yourself if you have to deal with something going wrong. Makes it easy to find something going wrong and keeping everything all the same. That's also followed through to everything else through here. So these boards have a bit of a blueprint. They're all copied and pasted. All the fusing is all the same across all of them. I'll give you a diagram for them so you know, hey, if this fuse is blown, it belongs to one of these plugs on the side over here. It just gives it sort of way to work all through all that. Next, you've got a whole bunch of relays. Nothing really fancy with these. These just control all the light switches. Some of the switches we've got here for like the door switches. So we've set this up with door switches to make sure you know if you've left the doors open. So there's a buzzer inside the cabin. If you leave the door open and you turn the car on, it'll buzz at you. So it makes it really easy to know. If you're driving a corrugated road and all of a sudden the door opens up, it gives you a nice little audible alarm for it. It might not check your mirrors, but it does help protect you that and protect your car. So it's really useful for that kind of stuff. That also has a little relay in there for the speakers to make sure they turn on and off when they should be. Next up the top up here is the Redarc Alpha. That's an Alpha 50. In this case, we've used them because sometimes if the cars aren't being used, they might only sit in a location for maybe 2 weeks. And the really good thing is we've got a big 440 watt panel on the top of this canopy up here, and that will just trickle the power into the battery in the canopy, but also give a little bit of power when the start battery needs it. So this helps to maintain battery health, really. Make sure these are really well. On some of the older vehicles, when they used to have a lot of V8s, we would do a dual battery system in the engine bay. As a get home safe system, we call it. In these, there's the 4 cylinders. You can't fit one, unfortunately. There's too much stuff in the way to get that battery in there. So having the Alpha there with that sort of charge back feature really helps. The other thing you can do is if for any reason the start battery is low, you can initiate an actual charge back. So that'll send power back to the start battery, about 50 amps for about 30 minutes, and try and get that battery back to full. So it really gives you a sort of backup idea if you need to sort of save this vehicle, and to make sure if you are out in the bush, you're not going to get stranded. Next, going along, we've just got some sort of outlets and power stuff through here. So up here is the display screen for the Victron BMV. So one thing, obviously, you can imagine with these vehicles, they're not always going to be the same person using them. A lot of people will normally go with a smart shunt, which just goes to your phone via Bluetooth. They're a really good unit. They work really well. But if you're swapping and changing cars, you might not want a Bluetooth to 100 cars in your fleet. You can just quickly go through here, go, oh yep, cool, batteries at this percentage, and this is what I'm getting in or out. Works really well. Nice and basic, easy to explain to anyone, very easy to walk through. Next, down through here, we've just got some switches and some power outlets. So we've got one for the air compressor, and then the other one, which we've got one on the opposite side as well, is just for a little work light. So we mount these inside the canopy, open the door up, got a nice little work light just here. So if you're out at night trying to sort of see something, you can get that somewhat adjustable, so you can adjust that angle to what you need as well. So it works really well for that. And then we've just got some normal power outlets. So we've just got some 12 volts, and then we've got a big, you'll see it here, this is a 100 watt USB-C. These guys use for Starlink, so a lot of them will, if they need to, they'll grab a Starlink Mini from the office, plug it in, and they can stick it out there. So the 100 watts is what's really needed to run the Starlink. We have a lot of smaller ones at about 45 watts, but if you want to run a Starlink, you actually need to have that full 100 watts. The other thing the 100 watts does, it doesn't just put more power out, it's a high voltage. So those Starlinks really like using about a 30 volt output, and that's what this does. So if you actually got a multimeter and measured over those two terminals, you're getting 30 volts out of that USB, not the 12 that's actually going in. So that's why they're a bit bigger. They have to step up the voltage, not to step it down. We'll jump on the other side there and we'll sort of show you some of the other stuff this thing has and some power outlets and stuff. All right, so we just jumped over onto the driver's side of this fit out. Obviously this one's a bit more decked out for some more work style stuff, if you will. So there's some drawers here. These are great. You can put like all your crimps in, anything you need, just little wise. They all lock in, push them in. They're really cool. And you got a whole bunch of just shelves there, some normal drawers, everything you need just to get some. So we've also got the nice big MSA drop slide over here. So this is an ARB fridge the guys have supplied here. And then we can just pull this thing out. Oh, once I unlock it, we can pull this thing out down here. So it's a bit of an annoying height as it is at the moment, but we can drop this thing down. And then we can get it to a much more usable height down here. So once it's all the way down, we can get it, open up the fridge, get stuff in here much easier than when it was up there on a normal like straight pull out slide. The other thing we've also done, which I sort of mentioned before about the harnesses, with these, even though this is a chassis mounted canopy, we still put plugs on the ends of them, which you can see down there. So if for any reason this vehicle might change and the canopy might stay the same, so that's what these guys do a lot. They might get 5 new cars but reuse canopies and just sort of slightly update them. It makes it easy. You can still unplug it from there, drop it out, and not have to worry about sort of chopping and changing wires and doing weird solder joins underneath the chassis. You just quick unplug, plug the thing back in. So it's really easy for that sort of serviceability between the vehicles. If one has an accident, or whatever it may be, you can easily chop it and change it. They all sort of stay the same. Everything's always labeled. So if you're trying to do something for your own fleet and you're sort of worried about where things might be standardized and each vehicle being a little bit different, that's something that we can really be careful of. Now, just moving on here, you can see we've still got the same sort of light and power outlets that are set up as the other side over there. So we've got a normal light sort of work light up here. So same thing, just on a switch up there. Then we've got some normal SIG sockets out there, just normal power for any sort of lights or anything you might need to plug in. You know, plugged in there, so just sort of mirror that on both sides. Sort of following on about what I was saying before about sort of standardization. Everything we try and do with these builds, we try and keep everything the same. So each thing's have designated colors. For example, the solar, we always use yellow for positive and then the white for the negative for the solar. So we know, for example, that's different. One thing that's really important for these, your big 440 watt panels are high voltage as well. So you really want to make sure you're not messing that in with the rest of the system. It just helps to make sure everything's standardized and make sure if we get a ring up from a customer, they're up north, they're going, oh, my brown wire is turning off. We go, oh, brown wire, that's to turn the LED lights on the side. That's not working. So it's just keep everything standardized. Really helps with that sort of diagnostic side. It also helps with us, and so that building side we can go, this needs to be here, this needs to be here. Really helps streamline the whole process. Doesn't mean we can't add stuff on. So often in the sort of process for each of these, we sort of discuss with the fleet. A lot of times they might do 5 vehicles at a time, and every time there's slight little changes with them. So we've always got a blueprint of that harness there, and then we can make it up to that specific blueprint and add changes on. We don't just do them for the fleets as well. Also do them for a lot of the four-wheel drive builds we do. Troopies, we do it all the time. We've got big four-wheel drive harnesses we make up. They're already pre-cut for a troopy. And we know if someone wants to add on a work light onto the back of the vehicle, we can add 2 more wires on there. Or if there's a water pump being added underneath, we can just add those wires on. It still makes one nice harness, nice joins, standardize everything, make it work really well. So if you're looking for something like this for your own build or your fleet, hit us up at info@elevateauto.com.au or leave some comments down below. We'll make sure we get back to you. Otherwise, we'll see you guys in that next video.